In the beginning of the movie, we are shown a man who is a scientist. And he had recently done a research that any person can be made smaller. That is why he named this technique as downsizing, whereby using this technique, any person can be made smaller by 5 inches. Actually, the population on Earth was increasing a lot, and due to this the resources here were also decreasing. Therefore, these people planned downsizing to save resources. So they believed that a small person cannot use as many things as a big person does. And this plan of theirs was also completely successful. But there was a problem here, that if any person becomes smaller by using downsizing, then that person cannot become big again. He has to remain small forever. And all the children born to those people, that is, the coming generation, will also be small. Hearing this, all the people present there are quite surprised. And gradually this news spreads all over the world. Some people like this while some people don't like it. That's why they stop their friends from doing this. But still some of them try this technique on themselves. Then after getting smaller in size, they enjoy their life. And then the scene shifts and we see Paul and his wife Audrey. They both loved each other a lot, but their financial condition was very bad. And then one day Paul comes to know about downsizing. He likes this very much as soon as he hears it, because if both of them become smaller by using it, then all their problems will end forever. That's why Paul often thinks that he should become smaller by using the downsizing technique. But he did not have the courage to tell his wife. And then one day Paul goes to a party, where he sees his best friend and his wife, who were living their life happily by using the downsizing technique. Seeing this, Paul gets quite surprised. After that both of them talk a lot, where Paul's friend tells him that I am very happy after applying downsizing. Because earlier when I was big, a lot of problems used to come in my life. But now I do not have any problem. That's why I am very happy with my wife. And at this time we also have a lot of money with which I can do anything. After hearing this, Paul and his wife feel very good. And after coming home, both of them also decide that they will also become small by applying the downsizing technique. And then one day both of them go to a conference of downsizing together, so that both of them can know more about it. And then both of them are told there that when they become small, all the property they have will increase a lot. That is, they have one apple and that apple is not enough to satisfy their hunger. But when he goes for downsizing, then he can last for many days with that apple. After hearing this, everyone there becomes very happy. After that Paul goes to a girl and shows her his property. After seeing which the girl tells that when you become small, then your property will increase to millions. Because as soon as you go there, your property doubles. Hearing this, Paul becomes very happy. But the problem here was that before going there, all the artificial things that are attached will have to be removed. Because only human bodies were small in it. And if they do not do this, then they can also die. After hearing this, Paul also takes out his tooth because he too had a metal tooth installed. After that the scientists also remove all the hair from his body. Now both of them get ready there. Paul was very happy because now all his problems were going to end forever. And after becoming smaller, both of them were going to become very rich. So there Paul tells his wife that we both will meet in smaller size. Actually here first of all Paul was going to apply downsizing. So there Paul is put in a chamber. After that a doctor comes and presses a button, due to which the process of downsizing starts. There were other people also present there with Paul. So after some time all of them become very small. Where Paul had also become small and he is lying on a bed. And then a nurse comes there and gives him biscuits. After that Paul quickly calls his wife there. But then his wife tells him that I have cancelled this plan. That means I am not getting the downsizing technique applied on me. Hearing this, Paul becomes very sad. He does not understand what to do now. Because now he cannot grow up again. Now after that both of them also slowly start separating from each other. Because now both of them could not live together. After this Paul goes to some other place to spend his life. And this place was specially made for the people of downsizing. Paul used to live there completely alone in his house. He did not have any friends. Now a few days pass by doing this, and then one day Paul also divorces his wife, so that both of them can start a new life by staying away from each other. Now slowly Paul also started becoming happy here. And then one day it is told in the news that out of the 15 people sent from America for downsizing, 14 people died. But one girl is still alive. And then that night Paul comes home from a party and goes to sleep. But the next day when he wakes up, he sees a girl sitting there. He is quite surprised to see her, because that girl is none other than the one who was left alone while coming from America. After that, Paul also decides to keep her with him. And that girl also stays there and starts cleaning the house and cooking food for Paul. Actually, that girl did not have any house here and Paul was also living alone. That is why he was sent here. Now slowly both of them start getting closer to each other. And then the scene shifts and we are shown a place where some people used to live. Actually, the people living here used the downsizing technique but in a wrong way. That means all these people came here illegally. That is why all these people were living here secretly. And then in the next scene we see that Paul decides to go to the place where this technique started, because he wanted to know if those people can grow big again in any way. But after reaching there, the scientist tells him that I made this technique after working very hard. But once you become small, you can never grow big again. Paul feels very bad after hearing this, and he understands that from here onwards he has to spend his life here. So now he decides that no matter what happens, he will spend his life here happily, because now he has got a good partner. And then there the scientist tells him that I have designed this place in such a way that there is no danger here. So if you want, you can live with us. But Paul refuses him. After that he comes back to his place from there, and starts living a very good life with that girl. And with this the story also ends here.